Let's record on this. Dude, I almost did that twice this morning. It's not a good morning. I blame Chris on the first one. He's supposed to remind me. I've been pretty good about it, but so this is the reason why I didn't want to go short there. This morning's room, this morning's room I did not record. So I created a video highlighting my thoughts on everything we talked about in the charts. So that's what Yeah, I created that. Now I did create a video and it is posted and it is about the CL and everything. So hopefully he does go and watch that. But yeah, I like this. Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. So we've come up and we've grabbed liquidity. We have reason now to seek lower lows, but let's see how price reacts back in this range again. I was really kind of hoping for a little bit higher of a push. Because you can see we never really closed outside of that. Yeah. So yeah, as far as the recording and stuff goes this morning, that's the reason why I created a new a whole video outlining everything we talked about on the charts and stuff. So what's the dollar even doing? Dollar's pushing. We hadn't even looked at the dollar. I don't think we looked at the dollar this morning. Maybe early. This little dotted line right here is equities open. Well, I did look at the dollar at some point because my midnight candle is on there. So we're hitting the daily price line, which is a good place to kind of bounce from inside this fair value gap. 15-minute chart, probably. Man, completely respected that. Okay, good. So I would be willing to kind of go short now because I think this is going to be a good draw. And when we get this, we'll get just a flush. So I would be willing to go short. 3 minute, 2 minute, back to the one. A little bit of gap right there. Back in this balanced price range. Not pushing a button just yet, but I'm getting ready. I don't want to be too quick. Yesterday, I was quick on it. A 15-minute chart. Pressure's on. Higher highs again with the NQ. We just have not shown that with the ES or the Dow. So we got back into that fair value gap. Yes, in my opinion, two different reasons. One, it's really the market that we focus on a lot, so we're kind of more in tune with it. Two, we're only wanting to extract 5 points out of it. It's kind of a closer target. And the NQ can get kind of wild. So we have come up, we've taken liquidity here on the NQ, which we had already done on the ES here. So we're getting another push back up into that area. That's the reason why that's the reason why I'm still hesitant. Not quite ready to go long just yet. No, I don't really trust the short right now. So again, we're still in this box. And when price was right in here, I was talking about how I would never want to be taking a trade like in this area. And then when price come back down, I was almost talking myself into that trade, right? So I literally just said, I don't want to take a trade around this spot. I wanted to, get into a certain other area. And then when it come down, I almost started to justify taking a short, and then look what would have happened. So that's the lesson from yesterday. Yesterday, I was 100%, I was saying the exact same thing, and I did take that short, and it ran against me. So the box pretty much just kind of lets me know that this is equilibrium, and I want to trade at equilibrium. I want to trade at the extremes. I'm short biased, so it moving up right now is actually 100% fine with me because I'm short biased. I want it to get to these areas. It just gives me a better price. So, but yeah, I almost talked myself into that. Oil is not doing what we want it to do either. As you can see, we did break up into that a little bit. We've just been respecting this order block. And another reason why I'm not really interested in longs too is look how long we took to get here, how quickly we got here. We push up, we immediately push back down. We push up, we immediately push back down. And now look how long it's taking us to get back. So the shorts are the quicker payout. So we just need to, wait for it to get into a decent little range. Midnight candle. We got a little fair value gap right there on the midnight candle. So unfortunately, this is just kind of how it works sometimes. And since we took lows here, I would rather see price work its way back up. Yes, Toshi, it is frustrating, especially y'all have stayed up so long to be a part of this live session. So yeah, perfect touch. I did, and that has to do with FOMC this afternoon. So this morning it might end up being a no trade day. Um, and watching price and seeing how it moves is probably just the lesson in which to take out, right? So yeah, 1 a.m. And that's the reason why I'm getting up for London for y'all tomorrow. I'm getting up 2:30. I'm gonna try and start the stream by 2:40. I'll get up before 2:30, but we'll try and have everything on and my bearings about myself at about 2:30, and then I'll try and turn the stream on at 2:45. That way, the 3 o'clock macro can be hours for the taking. That's what I'm hoping for. As we go back to 3 a.m. here this morning, that's what happened there. 2:30, 2:45, 3 a.m. slam down, slow. So that's kind of what I want to see. And yes, I don't sleep much. It's all right. Oil is basically slowed down too. We did kind of this little price spot right here popped up again, closing below that 4 hour mean threshold. Not 4 hour. I'm sorry. Just this order block. I think it's 15-minute. No, it's this 5-minute order block. It just keeps respecting that and closing below it. If we ever did close above it, then I no doubt we're here and we're possibly here. Just hardly any action with it right now. And just look at all the wicks high and low. The bodies are very tight, just completely indecisive. The grind up, this might end up being a good candle down here. But Yes, ma'am. I will focus mainly on the top and bottom. I mean, I'm sorry. Let me back that up. I will focus mainly on the 50% just because price reacts to those areas more than the top and bottom. Wish we could get something like this, right? A little bounce, a little fair value gap push, a little retest, except to the short side. Okay. Michelle, are y'all on spring break?
Nope, we finished ours last week when it was 20 degrees.
Yeah.
So
I know the feeling. We're on spring break right now, and it's like today, tomorrow, and Thursday, I think are going to get it like close to 70, which will be really nice during the daytime. But there's a chance for rain every single one of those days. So the first of the week, it was uh 22 degrees waking up, and it got to like the mid 40s. And then now that it's warmed up some, it's raining. So,
that's
and we
really
had
cold
talked,
for there, I think.
uh, yes, yeah. Which I don't, I mean, when I was like 15, we had like this ice storm that came through, and it was around my birthday, March 15th to like the 20 something. So that was a pretty solid thing. Jenny's like 100 degrees on the weekend. And last year, well, I say last year, but over in December or whatever, Josh was telling me about y'all's weather. He was talking about how it was so hot at times. I was like, man, that's. And in December, it wasn't extremely cold at the time, so I was like, I'm pretty content. Now I'm like, I wouldn't mind seeing like a 90-degree day. Yeah, I'm in a pretty humid area, so the valley, the Tennessee Valley, it's pretty humid where we're at. And I agree. The humidity is what sucks. I could probably go live in Arizona, 104 degrees, be hot, but be okay. But the humidity here is just that's what gets me. All right, created equal highs. And again, just nothing. We're beyond 10 o'clock. This is one of those moments where I want to take a trade so bad that I just don't think it's going to happen. And it might be better to have a no trade than to force something. I mean, we've been in this box for an hour, 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes and nothing. The only thing that I'm confident in is that because of the way price is just dragging its feet straight up, that's too clean. So once we do get into a point of we reach for some type of liquidity, whether it be here or just above these internal areas, then we should get a sharp down move. And hopefully within that down move, we get some type of entry or even, some type of entry to take a trade in. Um, so yesterday, I think we went until what about 9:30, 9:35, something like that. But we'd already taken two trades. in the so I always place, and I know y'all probably know this, but I always place my trend lines on the bodies. And a lot of the reasons is if you're watching the wicks here, it doesn't look like, it's definitely jumbled up, right? You can see that we've got kind of a rising wedge, or, a is that an ascending triangle kind of happening right there. But if you really just go to the bodies, you can tell how it's pretty channeled on a lower time frame right in there. And that really these wicks above don't really mean anything right now, other than the fact that there's liquidity above it. But it's really these bodies that make the difference. All right, a little swing high here. It looks like we might be breaking down below it. Maybe we'll get some type of flush. And I'm really reluctant to go down to the 1 minute chart, just because, just like it was enticing me to take a short here, I think it would do the same for me again. Like, no, we're going to go long, but I'm just going to stick right here. Watch this a little bit longer. I'm also not as concerned as much about this mean threshold. That was on the 3 minute. Yeah. Not really as concerned, even though it's been respected. Just because we've kind of gone through it, we've created a new high. This can be considered the new order block or whatever. So because price is just kind of through here, I'm going to go ahead and take that off. I'm going to take that off. All right. A little liquidity void right there. Let's go back to the 5. I mean, we're still looking pretty heavy on the 15-minute chart. I'm okay with that. And it looks like we're getting this roll over here on the NQ. So basically at this point, and I know I've probably said it 42 times, but I'm either looking for a push and then go short, or I'm looking for a complete drop below these, like a good large candle below these lows right here, and then a retest into a fair value gap. Both scenarios, I'm bearish. Yes, absolutely. And I've done that before, Michelle. You could easily do that um, by choosing the time frame. Is that what I do? I boxed it in on the one. So choosing the time frame and then playing the extremes. So we've done that before in the early morning sessions. It's a little bit slower, and on days like today, you could. Was that 35 to 30 down here? Yeah. So you can. I'm electing not to, just because price is really just does not know what it wants to do. Where'd my mouse go? So my mouse just went out. I have no idea. Like, Might have to change the battery on it. Hey, there we are. Yeah, battery's probably going dead. And just to kind of, I guess, not talk you out of taking the trades within this box, because I mean that's a legitimate question. You could easily do that, and there are 5 points within this range by all means. But if you look at all of the fair value gaps that were created after taking lows and structure breaks, none of them were respected, right? So this fair value gap was completely traded through. This little fair value gap slightly respected, but I don't think that was enough room to get 5 points out of. And then it moved all the way back to the top. And then nothing through here. This is the next fair value gap that you've gotten. And again, you just have not really respected anything when it comes to like an entry. So if you were like looking for that foundation, sticking to that plan to take that trade, then it hasn't really presented it yet. Another reason why I don't set limit orders. And it might be a commitment problem with that. Might have commitment issues. The fact that if I set a limit order and it tags me in, I'm in a trade. Like I've got to be committed to whatever plan and analysis I've come up with. But if I don't and I watch price, then I can make the choice on like I can wait and see that okay, price isn't respecting it or it is, and then I can make the choice. I might not get the exact number that I want to be in the trade, but I'll get the confirmation. Let's go see what the 5 minute looks like. Oh yeah, see here, and then pushes up. So we get a breakthrough. This could be an order block that we could treat as a target if we get high enough. So if price keeps running, takes out liquidity, and it gives us an entry up here, then this could be kind of a target right in this area. And that would, I mean, clearly you're going to get 5 points where you get down there, but just saying. I'm going to go get me a battery. Okay. Last thing I want to do is get into a trade and my mouse go dead. Okay. Continuation, maybe. I would have thought we had gotten a stronger push out of once we got above these candlesticks. Well, once we got above these candlesticks, I would have assumed we got a push. There it is. right. These are way down. NQ making higher highs. Looks like the ES are trying to catch up to it. $36. So I'm going to consider this a new order block. We've created new highs. Kind of broke through this. Draw another little line on here. And I know I've got a whole lot of lines on this chart that we keep looking at. All of them have different meanings for me. So the NQ down here is creating higher highs, right? And pushing. The ES keeps stalling. So it's not really confirming this move to the upside. If we go to the Dow, same thing, right? It's not really confirming that push. These are correlated markets. They should be doing the same thing. The fact that the NQ is pushing that high, but the ES and the Dow are not, lead you to believe that this is more of a false move. Because look, we took out the liquidity over here, which is right there. And we have it on these. So given that, this is a good time for the NQ to turn around. And if these are already weaker, then this could be a short opportunity. I am really thinking about taking this guy off, because I think that's going to distract me. So take that one off. And that's the higher time frame 4-hour order block. We have the 70% and the midnight candle around there. So go to the 1-minute chart. I'm getting kind of a rejection right here off of this. So I'm not going to just jump into a short. I'm going to look for the actual reason to get in, right? We're getting a little bit of a structure down here below it. We're creating some liquidity. So nothing says that price can't make it all the way up here before turning over. But if it don't, and let's say we break through this and we don't respect it, then that's probably going to be an area in which I will go short from. And that being around 38, 39, my target would, guess what? Would be that. I know this morning is dragged. Sorry. Pretty boring. I mean, even oil, we could have possibly taken a trade, based off of that rejection there. But just the price action is just nasty. However, 3 minutes from now, by the way, the oil inventory comes out. So we might divert our attention for a minute. Of course, it would be happening right when we're getting some action out of the ES. Actually, I'm going to put oil on. Let me go back to a 5-minute chart. So it looks like we're about to take this liquidity. We're still making higher highs over here in the NQ. So I'll put oil over here on my Ninja Trader. And yeah, 1030 crude oil inventories. The Aussie is another dollar that is affected by the a lot of the oil stuff. So a couple more minutes. Taking some buy side there. Let's see if we come on up. Yep. Look at that push. All right, let me go to a higher time frame and see, just in case there's something else. Okay, I've already got it marked. All right, so we still have higher buy side liquidity that it can come for. And it looks like we're right at the mean threshold of that 1 hour. I'm not going to mark it though. The Dow hasn't made it new highs yet. NQ just crushing. Oh, we got through that. There we go. We're at the mean thresholds. Good turnaround place, right? We took out liquidity here. We've got some more buy side liquidity that we're trying to snap right there, but there's the mean threshold where this 4-hour order block is on the NQ. So I'm just going to put up buy side here just so it's on the chart. This is on the NQ, 4-hour. All right. So what do we see here? This will probably close higher and the bodies will line up. Swing high, but yeah, that's good. There you go. Inventories must have been good for it then. I wasn't even looking. Yeah, crude oil inventories were 1.1 million, which is well above the negative 1.7 million that was projected, which is high inventory, which is going to cause. This is probably going to be a Judas swing up. It should be bearish. Look at this. All right, so we're going to create structure right here. Looks like we're breaking across that. Gonna leave. Yeah, CL should be dropping. So we've popped all the way up to $70, and we've now dropped 30 cents since then. So, by the way, if you're on the CL and not the micros, remember this morning that's $10 a point. This is a $600 move in that one candle. $36 to $90 is all the way up here. And right there is a $700 move. Scurry. But I would really assume because the inventory was negative that we come up here and we've taken this buy side that we took out again. This is that liquidity pool. Look how far it stretched up into it. Breaker. Where we pushed up, then dropped below it. That's the breaker. This is on a 1 minute chart too. Almost touched it. 3 minute chart. Yeah, it's not going. 1 minute chart. Good. But again, even if you use this, so yeah, we're going to retrace there. What's the ES doing? Giving us a fair value gap. Okay. Yep. Let me go back. So 5 minute chart, we really don't have much of anything going. The 1 minute chart, I really like that. So let's get a breakdown below this and see what happens. Let me get those red lines off of there. There we go. NQ's pulling back as well. I want to see this close below here. Of course, we close at it. But I do like this. Might go short right here in this fair value gap. Well, it hadn't really created it yet, so we're probably going to be watching just for a few more minutes. And then, but I like this as a short. So just throwing this up here for visuals. This would be my stop. Because we're so close, 350, 375, I'd probably go ahead and put my stop up there. And then shoot for 5. That's all the way back down to the daily. So yeah, that'd be a good trade. So not in this trade yet. We did close up that gap. This is a pretty good wick. Let's see what the price, what market decides to do here. I honestly might be trading to be trading right now. Just take the trade. Yeah. Okay. I still like this price right here at 44. Target would be 39, which is above this mean threshold, right? No, it's below that. Sorry. It's okay though. Be a little more patient. I'm just going to point out this. We could definitely get a push from that point and never see this again. But this is one of those probably overanalyzing situations that I do. But I see that. I see liquidity. I see where price might want to run back into it. We might create a double top and then we get our move. This might end up being our structure. We still might be able to get in at an area like this, but we might have to wait a little bit longer for it. Sorry, ladies. And here's the thing. If say we got in here because we use this as structure, right? Structure break, fair value gap, and we get in here, we're having to hold through this traffic, like this slow moving grind down, creating this liquidity to the top side that it could easily come back and grab. Like even though we've moved, 2 or 3 points from this area, I'm not comfortable if I had to take in this trade here. So we want to see clear structure breaks with displacement that then price can move back into and then immediately break from. Those are the trades we want to be involved in. There's not really a clear saying. Remember, we're on the 1 minute chart, so there's not a clear structure break here. All it did was generate that liquidity and then go get it. And then we went sideways. And now we're basically boxed up. And I would prefer price to make its way back up and then give me another reason to get in. And we might be looking bearish on a bull day, you know. This could also be considered a breaker, which would be right around our target, which would be pretty solid. Look at that move. Don't want to get sucked in too much on those lower time frames and not look out. So this line again, I think I remember saying this yesterday, but this line is basically the mean threshold of this larger candle here as well, and that's the reason why I only put it here. So this is the top side of that liquidity. Again, I'm perfectly okay with this push. We've gotten our structure right here that we can say is a lower low. There we go. This might have been a day where y'all could have like just went against everything that I said and made way more money. So again, I'm still okay with this run up. Again, this is that engineered liquidity. We're pushing. We've kind of done the same thing here. So I would love to see us respect that one more time, like we have. There we go. And I want to see the drop now. Let's break below this guy. See if we get a fair value gap left behind. If it continues to just kind of lollygag around right in here, then we're probably just going to call it today. Because it just kind of gets to that point where it's almost as if we're looking for something that's not really going to happen. All right. I'm going to take my sell right in this area if we get it. Yeah. Yeah, the 1010 to 1110 or the 1050 to 1110 macro. And, the NQ's rolled over. The Dow's doing the same. Oh, wait a minute. I moved the line. There we go. I like this balanced price range right here. We respect that. I mean, not bad. Liquidity void. It's a volume imbalance. It's a liquidity void, not balanced price range. Been looking at the charts too long. So yeah, good respect to that. All right. I'm liking a short. We just have not broke structure. There we go. Come on, man. Give me something. Like I don't want to impulsively buy into something, but at the same time, pretty comfortable taking a short here, back down to at least this area. Could have used that as the fair value gap. There we go. Look at that. All right. I'm perfectly okay if we get a retracement up into here, going ahead and taking a short. I know it's going to be below where my initial thoughts were, but it's okay. Price is giving us a different move. We give a structure. I know we haven't really displaced, but could have taken it right there. Well, even set it too, man. So get this out of the way real quick. Look at the 5 minute. All right, getting a decent little move there. Go to the 3. Get that off. Yes, I have hesitated. So this could, and I'm just going to throw some people for a loop. We hadn't even talked about it. This wick and this wick is also considered balanced price range. It's 50% of both of those wicks. All right. Well, nice didn't move far. Please tell me you didn't wait on me. Sweet. Jenny, I knew you would. You're like Josh. Did you get your 5? I think I just kind of talked myself out of it. Not yet. Not out of it. Just I don't know. It wasn't like true displacement on it. Like here we are hitting this now. We'd kind of gradually move down a little bit lower than what I liked it, but this would have been a good entry. All right, there we go. Fair value gap. Yeah, it's probably gonna be a no trade day for me. Keep rolling. Jenny, where'd you get in at? Two entries, average of 42.25. All right, so right where it's at right now. So I would be aware of this guy right here. It's right there with a fair value gap as well. I would just be aware of that. We did touch right on top of that and move. It's right here near the midnight candles. There's just a lot of stuff it has to go through right here. $15-minute. Well, that's a good thing. I know people that trade cumulative delta, and it's an Arabia thing, right? There's also another trader that's online. His name is Trades by Matt. Great YouTuber. He runs a live YouTube every morning at 8:20 Central Time, so 9:20 Eastern, and I'm sure he's on right now. So, and he uses cumulative delta all the time. That's kind of like his one of his main things. So, if we drop back into a 5-minute chart here, you can see we are still creating a trend. Just looks a little bit too perfect. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm not like not a fan of Trade of H charts. Um, I love their dome, but I'm just so used to trading views charts. Very partial. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My Ninja Trader is well over here onto the other screen to my left. And if I'm trading the Elite Trader funding account, then it's hooked to my trading view, which is a trade of eight. I'm able to log into it to use on my trading view. So it's actually I'm logged into it right now. So I can take trades using this guy or this guy. Not really a fan of the only reason I don't like it is because if I came up here and just used these guys and just clicked into a trade, then I have to I have to create different buy stops and buy limits in order to create my stops, my stop losses, and my targets. If I use this, then I can go in and set it all beforehand, you know, whatever I want, and take my profits and stuff like that and have that all in, and then push the sell button. And that works. And then I can adjust it. Once I do that, it gives me the 3 lines and I can adjust those on the chart, which is super cool. Just like I did yesterday, except I wasn't using the TradeAvate account. I had the paper trade up because I was focused on the 25K account on my Ninja. And I thought,
Did
why
you
don't I
get to that one?
go ahead? I'm sorry.
Well, how did you get to that one? Because I just got the, Apex, so I've got to figure out how to trade that one. So I might. How did you get to that where you had the where you
On
could set the
Trading View,
bracket? Yeah.
right here, order panel, these 2 arrows.
Yep. Okay. Cool.
And then the dome is right below it, but you can
Okay.
only have
Great.
one up at a time. I mean, I assume it
Okay.
usually just cancels each other out. And then
Thank
you
you.
can change these stops, stop limits, and all that stuff. Change your buys. And I'll use this during these live sessions, and that's the main reason why I had it up today, was because I was gonna take a trade on here, but and then once it gets on the screen, you can adjust those lines however you want to, which is super convenient. I want to see it break down below halfway through this candle, this wick, and close below that. Looks like we might have just done that, because then you'll get a continuation. You should get a continuation out of it. Definitely see a retest of that right there. But the 50% of this wick, we did get just below it. Let's see if we get a nice continuation from it. Look at that. Hold it. No, hold it. Drop down to a 1. There you go. Again, this is just not the type of price action that I was expecting. Once we got above that buy side, I thought we would definitely retrace with low resistance. There we go, though. We're getting there. We're getting there. There's the continuation. I'll shut up. So we're getting that 10 o'clock movement or 11 o'clock movement. I mean, this is why time makes a difference, right? As soon as we hit 1050, we get this drop down, and then we slow down a little bit. As soon as we start hitting that 11 o'clock area, we start moving around some more. So the algos and the macros, they just start working at certain areas. That's the reason it's time before price. Hit one partial and then trailing stop. Yeah, that right there got your trailer. Well, hey, that was profitable. It was good management. Because again, this is not conducive to good trades. Like, again, if we had gotten in right up here, then you could have taken it down. It'd have been a 4 point or whatever on that volume imbalance. But again, we were holding that liquidity. We had just made this super wick and come down to do that. Like, we hadn't really broke structure yet. So that would have been just kind of an impulsive move. So that's the reason why I held off there too. And then we had this, and we did get, a fair value gap in which we traded into. We held below and rolled. But again, this is just dragging our feet. And if you want to, you can draw a line straight across the bodies there. So again, we could easily pop back up. Go to the 5-minute chart. Wait a minute, 3-minute chart. No, I don't like that anymore. But you get in this trend in which came up and got some of it, still respecting it with the body. So, I mean, we're still coming down, but that's just a grind. Yeah, I know. Again, no trade for me. Did not trade at all today. The account is still where it was when we started. I'll be
And good
good.
night, Australia. Thank you,
Yes, ma'am.
Joey.
Have a good one. You're welcome. Oh, yeah. It looks like I am going to go ahead and call it. I'm going to let y'all go. Look at that. Still moving down. I'm going to go ahead and call it. This is going to be a no trade. I'm going to walk away from the charts. FOMC is at 2 p.m. this afternoon, 4 hours from now. So if I'm around the charts at that time, I should be. I'm not going to make any promises. I may crank it back up when we do another live session. I'm on spring break and I have nothing to do. So, look at that. There comes the moves. I'm glad, Jenny. That was great management on that. Good job. I will see you all. If I don't see you this afternoon, I'll see you in the morning. All right. That's no problem. Y'all be good. Have a good rest of the day.